Great. So first of all, thank you, Rector Parker, Vice Rector Dendy, and members of this board for this opportunity to present really on behalf of the entire VCU research enterprise, our state of the research. Despite the landscape this year with the pandemic that has caused really a myriad of challenges, I would say, to our entire research community, I'm proud to tell you that VCU's research enterprise continues to be impactful. It is prominent and rapidly growing. There's so many areas we are actually a powerhouse in the nation. And what I'd like to do today is really to give you a glimpse of where our research is right now at the current state, and more importantly, our strategic plans for the future. Now, guided by VCU's Quest 2025, our strategic research priorities plan has the mission to enrich the human experience and advance clinical, sorry, I was looking at one of my other slides here. Advance human health and well-being through exceptionally creative, collaborative, and community-engaged research with the overarching goal of improving the human condition. Everything we do at VCU is going to be and is dedicated to this mission. Now, last year when I presented in brief VCU strategic research initiatives, which really are the core of everything we do across the VCU enterprise. And by that, I mean the two campuses, as well as VCU Health, which is what we refer to as one VCU Research. Our vision is really to be the best in each of these initiatives and seek excellence in the focus areas that we are going to concentrate on in enriching the human experience, achieving a just and equitable society, optimizing health, and supporting sustainable ecosystems. Now, before I get into a few more details of where we are with each of these plans, I want to dwell a little bit into some research metrics and highlights that have really been impactful, and numbers, after all, are a quantifiable way of expressing our success. Last year, as you know, we were delighted to see VCU cross the 300 million barrier in sponsored funding for the first time. And I'm really privileged and delighted to tell you that our faculty have been extraordinarily successful, and we've had another outstanding year with another 8% increase in overall sponsored funding, where our faculty and researchers brought in $335 million of sponsored funding this year. This is a record for us. And while the rankings for this year have not come out, largely due to the pandemic that NSF comes out by now, we were in the top 16% last year. And our aspirational goal is to be in the top 50 of public research universities. And I'll come to that in a short while. The funding that came into this year was a distributed portfolio across federal agencies, including NIH, NSF, DOD, and others, as well as industry, state, and foundations. And this was largely led by our very strong medical school, but as well as our folks and units across the two campuses that did the remarkable job. Several schools, humanities and sciences, engineering, Wilder, education, etc., they all registered increases in funding. Now, I will be remiss if I just talk about numbers and don't actually acknowledge the people who made this happen. And while the list is way too long, I just want to highlight on a few people who were instrumental in bringing some of the funding that we have here. This includes Dr. David Sifu with his DoD grant, a $50 million funding that he leads, VCU leads in the area of traumatic brain injury, to Dr. Wayman, who's in the School of Medicine and Education, where he's working, doing research in the area of disability, to Dr. Mike Miles in the School of Medicine, who leads and renewed his research center focusing on alcohol research, to our faculty in the College of Humanities and Sciences who brought significant money from the National Institutes of Justice. I think we're one of the largest recipients. for their work in forensic sciences area. And then Professor Ram Gupta in engineering, who led a large DOE or Department of Energy grant to look at renewable rechargeable batteries. And then folks from medicine, Dr. Neely and Dr. Bjork, who are part of a large federal grant looking at childhood development and brain development in children. And then Professor Lloyd at the Center for Health Disparities, looking at improving underrepresented training for underrepresented biomedical scientists. All said and done, there were so many more who contributed to this overall success.